Hello everyone, welcome. I'm just trying to bring you up on my iPad so I can see comments. There we go. Welcome. It is, oh, there we go. That was a little bit of feedback there because I forgot to turn my volume off on my iPad. So welcome everybody. It is Marcy here with Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southwestern Ontario, Canada. And I want to welcome you to my Wednesday evening live. So it is Wednesday, November the 15th. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, we are halfway through the month. Crazy, crazy. So also, today is the second day of the seasonal sale. So this is annual catalog products, you guys. 10% off ribbons and trims, 15% off inks, and 20% off papers. Now that includes designer series paper, specialty papers like vellum, all your cardstocks, as well as envelopes, but some things have already sold out. So as with a fabulous sale like this, because us demonstrators also get our demonstrator discount on top of that sale price. So that is always a good reason to join the Stampin' Up! Family. All right, so please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. I love to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching the replay. Thank you. Welcome and thank you. Please click that subscribe button below as well as the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Hello, Marina. How are you? Oh, and Mary's with you as well. Hello, Mary. Okay, so I've talked about the seasonal sale. So tonight we're working with the Festive and Fun. And this is the card that we're going to be creating with a cute little bird on the inside. And I have mixed, with this, I have mixed some watercolor pencils as well as Stampin' blends, because I find that sometimes, you know, these very small areas, you can get bleeding. So pull out your, I'm tired and I have a headache today, so I'm stumbling for words. Pull out your watercolor pencils and grab a blender pen to blend those colors in. So I'm actually going to, I'm looking like we're a little high here. So if I pull, I'm gonna adjust my mount. I just use my iPhone. I don't have any of that fancy programming or anything like that. So there we go. All right. Just adjust that slightly. All right, that looks better, although it's a little shadowy. I do apologize, but it's 7 o'clock at night here, so yes. All right, so I have already gone ahead and done a bunch. I've stamped my image and my sentiment strip. They are stamped in basic gray. Our classic ink pads are water-based. So that means you can use your Stampin' blends with it. Now you can also use, if you're very careful, this is just regular. This is thick white, this is regular. I'm gonna use my blender pen, and as long as you don't overwork it, you're going to be fine. You're not going to end up with the pilling. Now, if you kept working at it with the blender pen, you would end up with pilling on your cardstock. So you just have to be aware of that. All right, so all of the measurements will be found on my coordinating blog post. So we've got your real red base, my insert, This paper is from the Joy of Christmas. I have used the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. I've just embossed the whole thing, even though this is going to be glued on top. So, and then we've got this tiny little strip just to finish that off, and then I'll just snip that excess off. So let's get started. Have you ever mixed your watercolor pencils and your Stampin' blends? I'd love to know. All right, so I've got, I think I put in my blog post, I think I put it that this was Smoky Slate, but it is not Smoky Slate. I do apologize. It is Gray Granite. So just be aware, any gray for your rhino is going to work. Or you could make him a white rhinoceros. I'm going to do one area at a time. And my comments keep disappearing. Okay. So have you shopped with the seasonal sale? I placed an order this morning. I was lucky to be able to grab a couple, well, 3 to be exact. I ordered 3 packages of the envelopes. Don't want to be greedy. I didn't need tons. Wanted to leave for others. So I grabbed 3 packages of the white medium envelopes. I use those all the time. And we are coming up to sending those Christmas cards. So I grabbed what I knew I would need and use. And then I grabbed a couple packages of thick and a couple packages of basic white. And then a package of Old Olive, because I was low on that. But I had customer orders to place, so I was like, well, I might as well get myself some stuff as it's on sale and I could use it. So the sale runs till tomorrow. And I don't want my rhino to be super dark, so I am just going here and there. All right, with the dark, coming in with my light. Hello, Amy. Yours was cardstock heavy, was it? Hello, is it Zana or Zana? From the UK. Welcome. You ordered Old Olive and Mossy Meadow yesterday. Yeah, I had ordered, my last order, I had ordered Mossy Meadow, and I completely forgot that I needed Old Olive, and I'm down to like 5 sheets. So now this coming Saturday is my last class of the year, but I do need the cardstock for bringing you guys the videos and inspiration, as well as any more Christmas cards that I need to send out. All right, so there we have it, our little rhino. He is all colored in except for his ears and his nostrils. They are the 1000 from the Naturals, because I like that pink inside. Now we're going to come in. I just grabbed a variety of my watercolor pencils. So let's do our sled first. And we're going to do it cherry cobbler. So we are going to come in And if you go in little circles, you're not going to, when you go to blend, you're not going to have the streaky. It's going to be easier to get rid of that. So you can leave it just as it is. Now, the harder you press, the darker it's going to get. And I had not played with my watercolor pencils in a while. So that's why I thought, you know what, let's pull them out and color in this image here. So to blend, I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper here. Might as well have that right there. So you can see it's not fully even, right? That color. So I take my blender pen and I carefully come in and go over just very lightly. It's going to move, the chemical that's in the blender pen is going to move that watercolor pencil. It's going to move that around and you're going to get a little bit smoother look. Now, to get rid of that, you just wipe it on scrap paper until that there's no more color coming out of it. All right, so that part's done. So now I'm going to color with my basic gray. That is going to be the brackets. And what are they called? Somebody tell me. I'm totally drawing a blank as to what these, the skis, not skis, but you know what I mean. They're not rails. I just literally cannot think of what on earth these are called. And there's no room with these to do your little circles at all. So that is that straight line. So that is done. Hello, Carol. All right, so next, I kind of went with bright and cheerful colors for the presents. So, balmy blue is my birds, so we're going to keep that aside. So let's go Daffodil Delight. Let's mix it up so that this time our colors are a little different. So let's do this one down here on the bottom as Daffodil Delight. I was live this morning on my team page. I got my product purchase premiere. I had posted that I had that on stage at home for demonstrators. And we'll do this as the Coastal Cabana. So if you registered, you got to place a PPP order, product purchase premiere. So that arrived today, and I did notice that other demonstrators are posting. I'm not going to say, because I don't want you to leave me. I want you to stay here and watch me. Are posting their purchases that have arrived. Now, my thought is, we are halfway through November. We still have the rest of November and December, and customers can't purchase until January. So why would I post something that you guys can't order? All right, so now we're doing garden green. Actually, no, let's do old olive. Let's do old olive on that top one. Now, if you were to sign up as a demonstrator, come December 5th is when the pre-order goes for everybody, all demonstrators, because right now it was only for a few days that demonstrators that attended on stage could order a select amount of products. But December 5th, all demonstrators can order from the catalog, mini catalog, that January to April. For me, it's the spring mini. It was called the spring mini for so many years, so that's what I think of it as. All right, what color should we do the bow? Should we do this bow red? Yeah, so unless you guys said, oh yes, we really, really do want you to show us, then maybe next week I would. But I don't plan on showing until December, until I start slipping in some products to share. Now, I find the real red watercolor pencil is more orangey looking. And I'll go through and blend all that after the fact. So now let's grab our balmy blue. You are 80% better now, Amy. That is awesome. And your voice came back. That's good. Bronchitis is not something that is fun. I've never had bronchitis, but I do have family members that have, and I know how they've suffered. So, and these tiny little faces, oh my gosh, they're so tiny. And I am really only going heavy on the wing here. And then I'm leaving the belly white because I'm going to pull that color with my blender pen to kind of have that little bit of lightness for the belly. But watercolor pencils are fun to use. It just takes a smidge to get used to what kind of pressure to be using. And those little beaks are going to be fun because they're so teeny tiny. And we've got our daffodil for that teeny tiny little beak. And I went with the gray because of we're going to have cherry cobbler hats and the green scarves. So the earmuffs are white. And this one has a Santa type hat on. All right, so then we're going to go with the Granny Apple Green because it's bright red and green. Green against green, but oh well. And I'll look up for comments in a minute. All right, so now let's pull our colors. So it is. So you can see, bring that up there. We don't have Zoom on Facebook, so you can see how I've left the bellies white. So now we're going to come in and let's do the presents. We'll start at the bottom. And because I've done those presents, I can come, that present that's yellow, so I can come in here and just kind of pull that. Wipe that. And then do this present. And the other side, being careful not to pull that Coastal Cabana into the red. So this is the watercolor assortment 1 and 2. But I don't keep them in their boxes. I keep them in with my, they slide nicely in with the ink pads and the markers on my storage, my Stampin' Up! Storage. So I keep them together with the inks of the same color. And like I said, you don't have to come in with your blender pen, but I find it just smooths that color out that little bit more so that it just looks that little bit nicer. And then I'm kind of pulling that so we don't have that line. It just kind of softens. There, I'm going to pull that up. Now, can you see the difference between this bird here and the one above? So that's the difference with the blender pens, how it just pulls that color and smooths it out a little bit more. So let's do our next little birdie. And it turns that belly just light blue. Do you send many Christmas cards? I used to send, oh goodness, 70 to 80, but I don't send quite as much anymore. Do the little scarves. And the hats. There we go. Now we're going to do the wreath and the bow and his scarf. So do I have white inserts cut ahead of time for time saving? Yes, I do. Amy, generally speaking, I would take an entire package of basic white and I would cut the entire package into 4 by 5 1/4. So the last package I did, because I had my Stamp-A-Stack, is, as you know, my last class. So this is what I've got left. Because this is generally my card insert size and my card front size because I like to layer. So 4 by 5 1/4 is what I like to have ready to go. And then I will also die cut a bunch of the most popular shapes that I like to use. I will die cut a bunch of them so that they are on hand, so that when I'm designing, I can go and look and see, okay, what shape will fit this, what shape will look good with this type of thing. Yes, great question. But because I do videos, do classes, I find it's easier to have that stuff on hand, ready to go. So that I just have to grab it and away we go. All right, this is going to, I'm changing this up. On this card here, it was the garden green. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do want to, because I used old olive for the present, so ignore that. I was going to use the old, oh, I forgot his little, I forgot his other arm here. And his little fingers as he's holding that wreath. But you don't notice these things until you start coloring. And then you go, hey, wait a minute, there's a white spot. Yeah, this has been a crazy busy week for me. And we're not done yet. I had my team watch party here on Saturday for On Stage. And then live on Monday morning on my YouTube. Then Monday night was team meeting. Tuesday night was class. Then this morning I had a haircut, my first haircut since March. I got 2 inches taken off all over, and it feels and looks so much better. And then tomorrow morning I have my seniors class. Friday morning, Maisie has a haircut. And then Saturday at 1 is my class. So it's been busy. All right, so we are going to start this time. We're going to go red at the bottom. Actually, do I want red? Yeah, might as well. I've started. So every other. So the ends are red. Then, so that. And that would be that one there, and that one there. And we're going to say that's going to be green, so we're going to go that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, so now we're doing Granny Apple Green because it's nice and bright and fun. And then I have to still color in my little birdie that's on the inside. Okay, so blender pen back. Your ice cream diet has helped a lot. That's funny, Amy. I don't know, ice cream in the winter is, although if you've got a really sore throat, do you have your decorating done? I have not started. Brad has booked a couple days off. He's trying to get our garage insulated before the cold weather comes. And he told me he could not get my bins down from the shelf until he was done what he was doing. So I have to wait. That scarf is really fun and bright, very fun and bright. So my next thing I want to do on this is I've added a little bit of the light pool party around to just bring it to the foreground. If you look, I feel it makes it pop a little bit more. So we're going to take our light pool party and just trace around. This is light, isn't it? Yes, it seems very dark for a light pool party. And I'm going to come in with my color lifter and just kind of push that color back because I like it a little more subtle. Some people like to leave that heavy type line, but not me. I like to just push it back. And then we're gonna add some for that snow. Around his little bum. So this morning when I took Maisie out, those of you who have been here for team meetings and classes know how little my Maisie is. She's a Maltese. She's all of 6 pounds, but she thinks she is something else. This morning I let her out because she's so little, and we back onto conservation area. There's woods right behind us. We have wildlife back there. So this morning she went running down and she went under the deck, and I was standing up on the top step, and there was 2 deer right behind the fence. One was laying down and the other was standing there and saw me and froze in its spot, and I think that poor deer was hoping that if they didn't move they wouldn't be noticed. Well, Maisie noticed. She went flying towards the fence like, yes, she charged the fence. Such a little dork. I'm like, well, A, you scared those beautiful deers away, and B, you know, you're so teeny tiny that they would smush you. What are you doing? Yeah, she runs at danger. She doesn't run away from it. She runs to it. Such a little turkey. It was funny though. I don't think that those deers will be coming back. All right, so, and like I said, I find that really heavy. You can see my lines. So I'm going to come in with my color lifter, and I'm just going to go right up against it so it kind of softens that line a little bit, so it's not quite so heavy and harsh. You don't have to do this. I just personally prefer this. I like the look of it. That little bit of shadowing, so it pulls that image more to the foreground instead of sitting looking towards the back type of thing. And I don't want that stuff to be heavy either, so now Monday I've got a recorded video. Oh, I forgot to do the inside of that. Monday I've got a recorded video because I've got a lot going on that I just can't. I need to clone me. All right, so let's quickly add that little bit in here. And there we go. So cute. All right, so let's grab our little dude. And here we've got the inside. So you are going to have that red hat. And the green scarf. And like I said, I find you've got a little bit more control, and it's easier to stay in the lines with a watercolor pencil than using a Stampin' blend. I colored them all blue because they're the bluebird of happiness. That's what I was thinking. They make me happy, the birds. Making cards makes me happy. So they had to be blue. All right, we are almost done our coloring. There we go. Our cutie pie little bird is colored for the inside. So we're just going to give, we don't want that bird to just kind of be floating there in the air like that. So there we've got that little bit of the shadow. Now I'm going to just, there we go. Okay. So let's bring our elements in. We've got our real red cardstock base. That is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. But like I said at the beginning, all of the measurements in that are going to be found on my blog post. It will be in the link will be in the description box below for my YouTube peeps. There's our inside. Now, our outside. I love this embossing folder. Okay. So the back side of this is that pretty music sheet. And right like so. I probably should have put this on before, but oh well. Now because this is thin, I am going to run a bead of glue all along the edge there. So as you can see, because I don't want glue all over my fingers. So if I put it on here, I'm not going to accidentally be touching that. So I'm going to then line that up there and there. Give it a press. Then grab my snips and hold that. And see, I should have done this before, but oh well. There we go. There is our lovely little trim. Our faux ribbon to finish that off. And then the next layer. I love my layers. Okay. Yeah, this red, this is real red. And does it not look orange to you guys? But it's very fun and bright. So yeah. So this is going to be popped up on dimensionals. So let's grab our dimensionals. All right, so I am going to, all right, so right here, I'm going to go, actually, let's do a smaller one than that, a little bit smaller. So I know it's going to sit here, like so. And one here in the middle-ish. And one here. Whoop, there's two of them. We don't want two. Yeah, that's good. That can actually come down just a smidge more. There we go. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So that I'm not, because this is got the cardstock on top of that designer series paper, I don't want it to have like a speed bump. So that's why I am adding the dimensionals like that so that it can sit like that. And I know that that's in the correct position instead of guesstimating on the back of the stamped image layer. There we go. So just like make sure I'm hitting it. There we go. That looks fairly even to me. Make sure it's straight. Yep. And I've already stamped my and trimmed. This is just offcuts. Stamped and trimmed my sentiment strip here so that I just have to peel that. And this is going to go right here. I'm leaving just a tiny little border. And before I press that, I'm going to lift it up to make sure that it's not looking crooked. Now I have a piece of the large check ribbon. It's the black and very vanilla that I have colored with my dark real red. And you can see how this is soft, but when you color it with a Stampin' blend, see how it makes it crunchy. But that's okay, because it's going to soften as soon as I go to tie it. It's going to be fine. So I want to not waste a lot. So pull that through. I don't want to be trimming too much off because I think I can get a couple knots out of this. So, and then I'm going to scooch. Take that and just scooch it that way. And there is a cute little knot for my card front there. And we're going to go that. And then a little bit more. That looks even. So there's my waist, just that little bit. So then we're going to take a glue dot and I'm going to put it right here on the corner of my sentiment strip. And then I'm going to take my cute little knot and tuck that right there. And see if I can't manipulate that to there. And there we have it. Such a fun little card. What do you guys think? So this is my original, and here is the one I colored with you tonight. And then the insides are basically the same. So cute. Love this set. So this is Festive and Fun from the Holiday Mini Catalog. If you live in Canada and do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you currently work with, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. If you are shopping in my online store, please use this month's host code. Please share my video. Sharing is caring, and it's how I reach more crafty friends, team members, and customers. All right, I'm just checking. There's no questions that I have not, no comments or anything that I haven't answered. So that is all for me today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. Have a fabulous Wednesday night. Have a great weekend. Some of you lovely ladies I will see here on Saturday afternoon for Stamp-A-Stack. So that's it for me for now. Remember, I will have a video for you on Monday over on my other channel. That'll go live at 11 a.m. So that's all for me. Have a great night. Bye for now.